Welcome back to my kitchen, Real Women of Philadelphia. My name is Sarah, and today I'm cooking with Philadelphia light cream cheese and making my last entree for this competition. What I'm going to be cooking for you today is called Philly Miso Chicken, and it's going to be really, really good and probably something that a lot of you have never had. Before I lived with my boyfriend, who grew up in Hong Kong, I hadn't eaten a lot of Asian food other than Canadian Asian food. So the only miso I'd ever heard of was in miso soup. And I thought that miso soup was just a way of saying soup in Japanese. It's not though. So there are a few different tastes that we all know about. Salty, sweet, sour, and bitter. But there's also savory or umami, and that's featured in nothing else other than miso. So that's what I'm going to be cooking with today, and it's going to be really fun to use this type of ingredient that not a lot of people use. But it's actually really, really simple, and I think you'll all really enjoy it. Because who doesn't enjoy savory food? So first I'll get my chicken started, and then I'll get started on my sauce. I'm using an oven-safe pan today, and now I'll brown my chicken, and then I can slip it directly into the oven in the same pan. I want the skin to get really crispy before I slip it into the oven, because that's going to be really delicious. So I'll get my chicken into the oven, and then I'll start my sauce. So now it's time to get started on my sauce. I'm going to start my Philly miso sauce the way that I start most of my sauces, with a small sweet onion and a couple cloves of garlic. So I'll get these into a pot on my stove and just let them start to cook, and then I'm going to add my miso. So my onions and garlics are all nicely cooked through, and now it's time to add my miso. I have a 1/4 cup each of my red miso paste, as well as some of my homemade peach jam. I think that apple jelly or really any seedless jam would be really good with this, but I have peach today. So I'm going to give you a closer look at the red miso since not everybody's had this before. I've just squeezed it out of a bag, and I know it kind of looks like peanut butter or maybe something your dog left behind, but trust me, it tastes really good. This umami flavor is really tasty. And no, I'm not saying unagi, I'm saying umami. We're not having eel today. So now I'll just add my jam and my miso paste to my sauce and just let them melt and cook through, and then we'll get to adding the Philly. So my sauce is almost done. Now I've just got to add my applesauce. I have a cup of applesauce to help sweeten up my sauce. And last but not least, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of Philly. So my sauce is all done, and there's just one last thing for me to do to it. Take out my trusty immersion blender and make sure that all of the pieces of onions are all blended up, because I want my sauce to be all one beautiful smooth sauce. So I'll get that done, and hopefully my chicken will be done at that point. So my chicken's out of the oven, and it looks delicious. So now I can't wait to get my Philly miso sauce on it and take a delicious bite. I think a little more. That should do it. Oh, that Philly miso sauce is so delicious. I would put it on chicken, on pork, on steak, even on fish. I think it's just such a versatile sauce. It could go on anything at all. I was so happy to share with you one of my favorite flavors today. And now that you know what miso is, you can enjoy it right at home, and you don't have to go out with miso soup.